अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम, तशरीफ रखें।
थैंक यू सर।
जी, Mr. Chatha,
जी सर।
you come from Wazirabad,
यस
which also happens to be your favorite city.
यस।
Now, please tell us why was it named Wazirabad?
It was named on the minister of one of Mughal emperor who was ruling Punjab at that time. On his name, it was named
Which Mughal
Wazirabad.
emperor are we discussing?
If I may guess, sir, it would be Shah Jahan.
Shah Jahan. Was he called Wazir?
No, sir. His minister, his name was Wazir, and on his name.
What is Wazirabad famous for and why?
Sir, Wazirabad in current time is famous for cutlery products. It's very famous for its knives and other culinary products. They are even exported to other countries. That's the main identity of Wazirabad these days.
Okay. Now, what is your preference in service groups?
Sir, my first preference is Foreign Service of Pakistan, and the second preference is Pakistan Administrative Service, and third preference Police Service of Pakistan, sir.
I'm intrigued because I am also from the same service, foreign service. It has its advantages and disadvantages. In my opinion, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages by far. What is your interest in joining this service? Why do you want to do so?
Sir, in 2019, I was fortunate enough to represent Pakistan at Egypt through United Nations Forum. And there I realized that it is a great honor for a citizen of a country to represent his country at international forum where you are speaking on behalf of your country. Number one, I would say. And secondly, I would say I feel that my aptitude lies more with Foreign Service of Pakistan. That's why I made this decision to put Foreign Service as my top priority, sir.
Good. Now, you have studied Indo-Pak history, political science, and other subjects. I'm going to ask you, each one of us is going to ask you 4 or 5 questions related to your optional subjects. Who was the longest serving Mughal emperor?
Longest serving emperor was Aurangzeb Alamgir, sir.
And for how long did he rule?
Approximately, sir, 37 years, if I can.
Close to 50 years, huh?
Close to.
Followed by Akbar, 49 years or so. What were the causes of the downfall of Mughal Empire?
Sir, if I organize the causes, I would say that number one cause was their interior or their internal dissension between the families. When one king died, the other king, how he would become king. For example, the sons of Shah Jahan, how they fought over the throne and other. That would be number one reason. Number two reason would be because the British had invaded there. It was a major reason. They were staging their own outpost on from Kathiawar coast all the way up to Bengal. This was also a reason. Number three, the lack of organization was the reason. Economic downfall was the reason, and the reasons pile up all the way up to, sir. When we see that the British in 1857, we see that British evaded last emperor from the Red Fort of Delhi. All the way it was like that.
Okay, let's move on to political science. Who were the main proponents of the social contract theory?
Sir, the main proponents of social contract theory, he was Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Rousseau. They gave this theory. Thomas Hobbes was of the view that before the state, there was a natural association. There was a state of nature.
How do you compare the theory of Hobbes with that of Locke?
Sir, Hobbes, he makes the sovereign, he named him Leviathan, a strong sovereign who would rule with an iron fist. However, Locke based his theory upon consent. He called it popular consent. He was of the view that the rule or the ruler should rule with the consent of his people, and that's why I would more stand with the John Locke and his theory, keeping in view current democratic trends, I would say that John Locke's theory was more closer to the democracy.
Sir Syed Ahmad Khan is said to be the originator or pioneer of the two nation theory. What is your view?
Yes, sir, I agree with this view that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was the originator or pioneer of the two nation theory when he propounded this concept that Muslims and Hindus, both of them, are separate in the sense that they have their own history, they have their own cultures, both nations, and they are different in all their other political and other trends. For example, they have their own heroes. Muslims have their own heroes, and Hindus have their own heroes. Their folklores, their stories, all of them are different. Their language is different. Hindus used to write Hindi in Balmik script, while the Muslims used to write what we call Urdu in uh, Arabic script. So, from all these things, Sir Syed viewed that we are two separate nations and we have our own identities, as he was of the view.
Who gave the theory of separation of powers and what was it?
He would be Western political philosopher Montesquieu, sir. He gave the theory of separation of powers. According to him, there are three major pillars of a state: executive, legislature, and judiciary. He was of the view that if judiciary is combined with legislative, then the lives of the people would be led to or would be given to an arbitrary rule. Therefore, in order to ensure liberty of a citizen, all these three powers must not be concentrated in one person or in a body of the same person. Otherwise, the liberty of the citizens would be in jeopardy. Therefore, he said that all these three powers would be in separate organs of the state. He was the major proponent of the separation of powers.
Okay, a couple of short questions on Islam. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how many sons was he blessed with and what were their names?
Prophet, peace be upon him, was blessed with three sons, sir. Ibrahim, uh, and Qasim, and Abdullah. Alayhi salam. These ones. So all the three sons, they died in infancy. They could not reach their age of adulthood. Before that age,
How many children did Hazrat Ali have?
Sir, Hazrat Ali had number one Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, and they were their.
I'm just asking about the total number of children born to him.
I think, sir, four.
They're more close to 24, not 4, from different wives. All right, my last question. Why did Hazrat Ali take the decision of shifting the capital from Medina to Kufa?
Sir, according to him, he wanted the power to be away from the where it had been before because of internal dissensions of the state. When the after Hazrat Usman Razillah anhu, when the Khilafat was made contradicted by some other groups. It was divided between different political groups. So they were all fighting for the power in Medina. So Hazrat Ali decided to shift the power away from Medina to Kufa, to where he thought that his power base lies. So he took this decision.
Thank you.
Pakistan has been making efforts to develop friendly relations with all its neighbors. Do you think Pakistan is pursuing its foreign policy perfectly, efficiently, or not?
If I am to define the foreign policy and I say that pursuing your own national interests or what suits us at what time is our, we would say that it's strong foreign policy, then my answer would be yes. We have tried our best and we are trying our best, and Pakistan is on the path of securing its national interest in an efficient, strong, and honorable way in the Committee of Nations on the world stage.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh, There has been a strong uh, agreements or strong returns or between different nations as far as defending the nations were concerned. Alignment has been the way out for different nations. Do you consider Pakistan as an aligned nation or not? Is it aligned
Sir, I would say Pakistan is aligned but non-aligned.
but non aligned? Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's right.
Sir, in my view, that it's not about how the others perceive us, it's about how we view ourselves. For example, we have our interest with China that on UN Security Council, they have always supported us on the issue of Kashmir. Whenever there is a resolution from our opponents, they back us up. On the issue of democracy, on the issue of human rights, on the issue of war on terror, we have always stood strong by the side of Americans. So I would say that if someone sees only one aspect of our relationship with China, then he might say that you are aligned. But the reality is only that's half reality, that's half truth. If we see it all, then we are not an aligned nation. And sometimes, if you see in one perspective, you can say we are aligned. But I think that we are not aligned, we are just pursuing our own interests. And we will pursue that at any cost, sir.
CPAC has been a very important project. And China definitely is the one who brought that project. Pakistan looks at it as if it is going to develop through CPAC. Now, that alignment with China, is it going to disturb our relationship with the US?
Sir, it's up to us that how we take on the CPAC. And we are Pakistan is very vocal about this, that it's open for all. We want to trade. We are open for the world. We are open for trade and tourism starting from Gwadar all the way to Kashgar. We are open to Indians. If they are aligned with our interest, if they accept our demands and if they come to the table, we want trade. We want our open borders and we will secure our interest in any way possible. So that would be my take on it.
America is concerned that, well, Pakistan has not given warm waters to any other nation. It's the China to whom we are giving our warm waters. This is a big, very big decision for this region. What do you say about that?
Again, sir, I would say it's about how Americans or how they are saying that we have given warm waters. We have not given warm waters to anyone. They are our own. This is our territorial sea, and we have not given. Yes, we are open to trade. Yes, we are open to business. If America wants those warm waters, wants access to it, we are open for business. Invest in our special economic zones, invest in our industry and agriculture, and yes, we welcome you with open arms.
Okay, good. Afghanistan is facing a dilemma. It's not being recognized by international community. Now, what are the issues holding international community for accepting Afghanistan as an independent nation?
Sir, I would divide it into three main domains. Number one would be social domain, in which the world is asking that the Afghan current government, interim government, they allow women and other human rights. The abuses, if there are abuses, they do not do that, and they follow UDHR, United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, signed in 1948. And if they are following up on that, then we respect them and we will welcome them. Number one. Number two, it's on security issues. The world is telling them that you have secured this land for yourself. Now protect yourself and us as well from the threats arising within and without. Do not let this territory used against yourself or us, i.e. the menace of terrorism, sir. They want them to halt all those activities. Pakistan is also of the view that the terrorists operating across the borders should not be allowed to operate. So this would be security domain. And then moving forward to the political domain. The world wants current government to include all the political stakeholders into the government, not only one community. So that would not be sufficient. If all the stakeholders are included, if from Tajiks, Uzbeks, Northern Alliance, all the way to Pakhtuns, all of them are included in government, and a shareholding agreement is signed and a constitution is formed. Let's say just like arrangement like Lebanon has Maronite Christian and other Muslim. One is heading cabinet and the other is heading being president. If some sort of agreement is reached upon, then the world community will accept them. They are a country and we recognize their de facto presence. Everyone recognizes them. But to get the de jure recognition, they have to do these steps and then yes, world will accept them.
Okay, how about the relationship with Pakistan? Pakistan definitely is pointing fingers at Afghanistan, sort of giving a refuge or giving a sort of space to the terrorists from Pakistan. And they are operating from Afghani soil. What do you say on that?
We have raised this issue with Afghan government and with Afghan powerful people that we do not want to see terrorists operating from their land onto our lands. If they claim that they are rulers there, they are ruling their land and they are the masters of that land, then these terrorists should not operate against us if they want good relations with us. We want peace with them, sir. And we recognize this fact that they are our neighbors and our progress is linked with them. In fact, the CPAC road is one CPAC branch goes through Afghanistan into Central Asia. Khyber Pass Economic Corridor. It goes through Afghanistan. Our Tapi gas line pipeline passes through Afghanistan. Kasa 1000 pipeline electricity grid. It will be established through Afghanistan. So our progress and their progress is also linked together. So we want peace for themselves and for ourselves, and we want them to take a joint action for both of us. So in order to live in harmony and prosper together, sir, that's a shared dream.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What has been significance of Shimla deputation in the context of Indo-Pak history?
Such Shimla deputation in the context of Indo-Pak history holds a great significance. I would point out only one major significance of Shimla deputation. That was the demand the Muslims under Aga Khan III, his leadership, they put forward. It was, we want separate electorates for our community. We want our political representation in the legislative assemblies. As they had seen in 1892 when the elections happened, not a single Muslim could win any legislative seat. So Muslims were of the unanimous view that in order to secure their interests, we have to secure political rights, and that's through the government, working through the government, our constitutional rights. If we are ever, we were unable to go further and work for our community, we need these seats. I would say this was the main.
And then these demands were
Accepted, sir.
and incorporated.
In 1909 Minto-Morley reforms, they were incorporated, sir.
Okay. What do you say about the veto power of the President of America? With special reference, a term called pocket veto.
Yes, sir. Sir, when I understood, when I was reading this topic, I understood in a very simpler terms. I imagined President is sitting and from legislature, a bill has arrived on his table for signatures. And if he signs that bill, it becomes law. If he just puts in his pocket and does not return the bill to the legislature, and if during that time the legislature is still holding the session, then that bill would not be yet vetoed. However, if the legislation, the session of that assembly ends, then that bill would be pocket vetoed. However, there is the other type of veto, proper veto. If he returns with his allegations on that bill to legislature and tells them that I will not approve the bill, then it's up to legislature. If they pass it again with 2/3 majority, it will become a law. If they cannot pass it with 2/3 majority, then veto cannot be overridden.
Is there any specific time within which he has to return?
15 days, I would say.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Recheck it.
I will check.
Okay. Then how state is defined under 1973 Constitution?
A state is defined as having a particular boundaries, specific boundaries, we have territory that is called Pakistan, and we have population. We are sovereign in those territories. In constitution, it's written that all the areas comprising four provinces and federally administered territories and any other territories administered by the government will comprise state of Pakistan.
And what provisions are given in the Constitution for enforcement of fundamental rights?
For enforcement of fundamental rights, sir, we have Article 8 to Article 28. These are fundamental rights. Article 8 states that all other laws which are contradictory to these rights would be null and void.
How they can be enforced? Yes, these articles provide fundamental rights. Any idea that any provisions which empower various state institutions like Supreme Court or judiciary to enforce these fundamental rights?
Yes, sir. Higher judiciary can enforce fundamental rights by taking suo motu notice. If the provision is written under Article 175, Clause number A, if the fundamental rights are usurped by a government, judiciary, Supreme Court can take suo motu notice and give back to the people. For example, one case I would like to tell here, Shala Zia Wapta case in 1994. In that case, that lady complained in Supreme Court, and that case was taken up by Supreme Court, and they gave the remedy to the affectee. So Supreme Court, yes, they can enforce through Article 175, Clause number A.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
you are a student of Indo-Pak history too.
Yes, sir.
What is the role of importance of Lucknow Pact in the history of Pakistan?
Lucknow Pact is a unique in its own, sir, in a way that it brought both the communities together. It was a win for Muslims, I would say, because Indian National Congress and all other parties as well, sir, from Hindu Mahasabha, and all of them agreed that yes, we agree to the separate electorate's demand of the Muslims. We will give them special seats quota in Assam, in Bihar, in other areas, and in Punjab and Bengal, Muslims where they had the majority of greater than 50% population, they would get 50% seats, and where they are in minority, they would get at least 33% seats as they got in Bombay, the state of. So in this way, I would say that Lucknow Pact was a win for Muslims because they had their rights secured, constitutional rights secured, and they had their demand accepted by Indian National Congress, which was the only opposing force at that point, because the British had already accepted this demand in 1909 Minto-Morley reforms.
Who were Mamluks?
Mamluks were those rulers in India, and they were also present in Egypt, sir. They ruled Egypt in Egypt as well, and in India as well. They were basically slaves. Originated from Turks and Persian areas. In India, they started ruling from Qutbuddin Aibak 1206 to 1210, and then there was Sultan Shamsuddin al-Tutmish from 1211 to 1236, and all the way to Ghiyasuddin Balban. He was a very iron-fisted king, 1266 to 1287, and the Mamluks ruled from 1206 to 1290, sir.
How the Mamluks were able to maintain and establish the Delhi Sultanate?
Sir, Mamluks established and maintained the Delhi Sultanate through two major, I would say, their ideas. Number one, their military organization, and number two, their economic organization as well. For example, Sultan Shamsuddin al-Tutmish, he gave the first coins to India, jital, tanka. It was made of silver, 11.5 gram, 7.5 gram was jital. And so they established currency system, they established postal system, and they established, organized the military and rebuilt all those forts which were prior to Mamluks, routes of invasion through northwestern passes. So Mamluks were defenders of India, and yes, they defended also later on the Delhi Sultanate. Khilji Alauddin Khilji, he also defended us against Mongols, sir.
Okay, how do you justify the Montesquieu theory of separation of power when we have the fourth pillar of media these days in the state?
I would say, sir, media is not a pillar of state. Media, at best, can play its role, positive or negative, depending upon how mature media of a country is. However, I would say that media is just a lens into the state, how the state functionaries are working. Pillars, I would say, they remain the same, sir.
Okay. Now, the last question. What is your take over the Afghanistan current situation?
In current situation of Afghanistan, sir, we are having a very serious issue with them. We are telling them that stop cross-border attacks from their soil on our soil. So the issue of terrorism through various terrorist organizations, we are facing this serious issue. That is the current issue we are troubled with from Afghanistan, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ji sir, now the time has come for us to discuss the candidate.
Sure.
What are your views?
Mr. Ahmad Hassan Chatha is quite composed. He has a good confidence level, good knowledge base. His eye contact has also been appropriate. He has good likable gestures also, gives smiles at times, which indicates his confidence level. The most important thing about him is that he has organized his arguments very properly. At the end, he appears very logical when he puts his opinion. Thank you.
Mr. Ahmad Hassan Chatha, sir, I found him to be a decent and dignified personality with fair level of confidence. His dress sense is fine, with good conversational skills. One thing which distinguishes him from others is his analytical and persuasive style. There are two things which I would like to highlight which need improvement. One is that he has this tendency of having frequent hand movement. And two, at times his energy level is not consistent. It has to be more consistent. Third is knowledge base is fine, with only one observation that he needs to improve his knowledge base and understanding of the 1973 Constitution. Overall, I find him a very good candidate who has potential to do well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ahmad is a pleasant, composed, and confident personality. However, as observed by Mr. Rizwan, he was low in energy at times. Though he presented his analysis well, however, I'm of the view that he needs to brush up his knowledge base. And I'm sure he'll make a good diplomat for the Pakistan Foreign Service. Thank you, sir.
Well, I agree with all of you with just a couple of exceptions, and will add something, in this case, things that needed improvement. Starting with his dress code, I did not like the color of his tie. Otherwise, the suit, the color, the combination was good, but the tie, navy blue suit and a dark green color tie, they don't go together. In my opinion, the tie should have been of a contrasting color. Maroon hoti, red hoti, कोई भी ऐसा कलर लेता. दूसरी बात आपने एनर्जी लेवल की. I found him to be soft spoken. Actually too soft. तो आप उसको ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हो एनर्जी लेवल में. I thought he was too soft, and I think he should. मैंने इशारा भी किया उसको बीच में. He should speak a bit more loudly and with more conviction. Or all this added up into his adopting a monotonous style throughout. उसका जो pitch थी और जो delivery थी, it was monotonous. I think he should learn to or train himself to dramatize, जो फिल्मों में ड्रामों में देखा जाता है. Posture. What we tell the candidates is to press their lower back against the chair. In this case, he was slumping a bit forward throughout. He remained like that throughout. Knowledge base was fairly good. Then one more thing that I noticed was that इसको हम fillers कहते हैं. जब सोचता था या पॉज करता था, आ का इस्तेमाल खासा था इसका, that he should minimize. Otherwise, overall, I think he is a fit candidate to be a good diplomat. He would be a good representative क्योंकि he did not lose his cool. Tricky questions पे भी he did not lose his cool. Therefore, I think he will become a good diplomat if he gets the service group of his choice. Thank you. Okay.